Hey, Merry February Christmas. How's that? I shall have to post the dirty look that I'm getting from Smokey. I shall post it up here. She's on the other side of the computer. She can't sit. Well, she could sit next to me over here, but it's a little tight on this side of the Regency side of town. We usually do our videos on the paranormal side, but the paranormal side's a little occupied right now. If you wait till the end, I'll put a picture up as to why the paranormal side of the town is occupied. But hey, it's Flashback Monday, and welcome to the Dealer's Book Series channel. I'm Christina. This is where we read books and we talk about books. No special effects, don't see music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. Where you going? I've clogged up her entryway to me. So anyways, it's beginning to look not like Christmas in February, March. Alright, once I go through these books, you'll be able to walk by me, but I've got books here. Come here. Well, you came over here. You might as well come here. I know. She doesn't want to be held. She wants to be petted, but she doesn't want to be held. She wants to be petted and talked to, but she doesn't want to be held. That's our situation for today. Well, go and come right back. And let me get rid of this pile of books, and then you can come up here. Alright, so where was I? Oh, so this is January 2017 new releases. Don't I wish I had my Romantic Times magazine to hold up and show you and talk about all the reviews? And while I was going through these books, quite a few of them got 4 stars on Goodreads. So we're pretty good there. And these, this is like, when we were doing, what are you playing with? No. Where is it? I'm sitting on it. This is what she's playing with. There's a lot of them around this house this time of year, but anyways, I've completely lost my train of thought. I miss my Romantic Times Book Review magazine, and this pile would be like 4 times this if we actually had the magazine. So anyways, let's start with book number 1. And you know what I hate about some places? I don't know how to do this, but they put the sticker over the synopsis. How are you supposed to read the synopsis? They should put it down here. Look at all this empty space down here. They all do that. Should make an initial complaint. So, conquering hero Cormac McLean would rather read than rampage, but his fearsome warlord father demands that he prove himself in war. Cormac chooses what he thinks is an easy target, only to encounter a fiery Highland lass leading a doomed rebellion and swearing revenge on him. Jane Campbell is not about to give up her castle without a fight, even though her forces are far outnumbered. She's proud, hot-headed, and hot-tempered, and Cormac falls for her hard. There's also a naked guy on the cover. And let's see the other 2. While I'm thinking about it. I have taken this book out. I can't tell you how many times I've taken this book out. I've picked it up, I've looked at it, brought it home, and then went, took it back. I went and picked it up and brought it back. I can't, at least 5 or 6 times this year. I'm going to have to read this book at some point. A Perilous Undertaking. London, 1887. At the Curiosity Club, a ladies-only establishment for daring and intrepid women, Victorian adventures, Veronica Speedwell meets the mysterious Lady Sundred, who begs her to take an impossible task, saving society art matron Miles Ramsford for execution. Ramsford, accused of the brutal murder of his mistress Artemisa, will face the hangman's noose in a week if the real killer is not found. She's got to find the real killer. But Lady Sanders is not all that she seems, and unmasking her true identity is only the first of many secrets Veronica will uncover. I have to really read that. So you shall see that in September of this year. This one I need to get. This series I need to get. I didn't realize the series is out there. And it's a library series. So, you know me and libraries and bookshops. If you haven't seen the Cozy Mysteries, they just ran a couple weeks ago. Cozy Mystery Retail Bookshop, Cozy Mystery Library. We did them. Check them out. Hey, and while we're at it, D. Louise book series If Then. Stop Googling. Just stop Googling. D. Louise book series If Then. If you're looking for vampires or werewolves or dragons or homicides or Scotland Yard or forensics or black authors, Native American authors or lawyers or reporters, D. Louise book series If Then. Check there first. Alright. Elizabeth Kane, Buzzelli. Jenny Weston and her mother Dora have been receiving strange midnight visits. Bear Falls' own elusive and highly secretive poet, Emily Sutton, has lived her life cloistered away from her sister in an elusive house at the edge of Prairie Swamp. But now Emily started leaving scraps of poetry in Dora's little library, and Dora makes her mission to befriend the sheltered woman. Meanwhile, Zoe, almost famous author Little Pearson, and the Weston's quirky next-door neighbor is hard at work on a new book, this one about the inner life of Emily Dickinson. And once again, Zoe's literary work starts making uncanny connection with the events in her own world as Emily Sutton reemerges in society. But Zoe begins to suspect things aren't anywhere near normal as Emily Swamp House or lives in the lives of the people who claim to abandon her, until looking further into the poet's half-truth leads Joey and Zenny to a murder. I love me cozies. I love me some cozies. Pop goes the murder. Some popcorn. Gourmet. Despite Rebecca Anderson's best efforts to distance herself from her ex-husband, the guy keeps popping up. When Antone offers to feature her breakfast bars and popcorn fudge on his popular cooking show, she suspects he's once again trying to butter her up. But the TV exposure for her gourmet popcorn pops is too good to turn down. Things take a shocking turn when the crew comes to Grand Lake to film her in her shop, and Rebecca discovers Antone's assistant electrocuted in the hotel bathtub. Oops. We've seen this lady often. We are going to be reading her series later this year. Rebecca Zanetti. Before surviving the Scorpius bacterium, Taste Justice was a good old Texas boy who served his country and loved his mama. After Score Plus, the world became dark, dangerous, and deadly, and so did he. The Vanguard medic is stronger, faster, and smarter than before, but he's lost the line between right and wrong. His passion is absolute, and his focus is on one woman. There's no turning back for either of them. Sammy Steele has been fighting to survive right alongside Taste, convincing the Vanguard soldiers she's one of them. In truth, Sammy is a former hacker turned government agent who worked at the bunker where scientists stored both contaminant and cures. Only she knows the location and she's not telling. We shall see. Tamera Alexander. A master violinist trained in Vienna, Rebecca Carrington managed to wheedle her way into an audition with the maestro at the newly formed Nashville Philharmonic. Wow, woohoo! But women are far too fragile and frail for the rigors of orchestra. Are you nuts? And Rebecca's hopes are swiftly dashed because the conductor, determined to leave his mark on the world of classical music, bows to public opinion. To make matters worse, Adeline, mistress of Belmont Mansion, Rebecca's new employer, agrees with him. She should stick up for her. Nationally acclaimed conductor Nathaniel Tate Wickham is Nashville's new orchestra leader, and despite a reluctant muse and a strange buzzing and recurring pain in his head, he must finish composing his sympathy before the grand opening of the city's opera hall. But far more pressing, he must finish it for the one who first inspired the love of his music, his father, who was dying. As Tate's ailment worsens, he believes Rebecca can help him finish his sympathy. But how do you win back a woman's trust after you told her to get lost? So see, this is another one I gotta start doing. We gotta do the Bones one too. There's the skeleton series she writes. We gotta do that. A killer takes a spin through Salem. Lee Barnett has agreed to attend a storage auction with Aunt Libby, even though she suspects the forgotten rooms will yield more junk than treasure. Her skepticism vanishes once the two win a bid on an overlooked blocker, an uncanny trove of beautiful curiosities, including a stunning carousel horse. With gentle eyes and fading paint. But just before Lee leaves the fairground relic at a local repair shop, the sight of Silver Samoa awakens her psychic abilities and conjures visions of murder. Oh, good God. Lee prays the intrusive ESP episode was just a glimpse into the past until her policeman boyfriend reports a dead man outside the repair shop. Apparently, the unknown victim had been shot on Lee's trail since the auction, and with the horse found dismantled, it looks like he was up to no good. To find out what's going on there. Vampire Gangster. Lisa Sharon. A slew of banks are being knocked over by what looks like the cast of the Night of the Living Dead. Oh, that sounds good. All of this may seem like the movies, but I promise you it's not. I'm McKenna Fraser, seer for SPI, and I know the culprits aren't wearing disguises or makeup. They're real. Zombies are robbing banks. Interesting. How about some Amish religion? The Seekers? Charlene Hagen's engaged, but to the despair of her fiance's family, she can't cook. Kendra Perkins, a teen enraged from her family, is facing an unwanted pregnancy alone. Loretta Donnell, the widowed with 2 children, would like to simplify her life. Ron Hensley, a Vietnam vet, parks his RV on the Troyer farm. And Ellie Miller, an Amish widower, needs to learn how to cook for himself. Class members share details of their disappointing lives, work to solve a mystery, and stir some romance in the air. Rosalind has been working for the family business and yearning for some grand adventure. So when contestants are needed for a reality show reenacting her historic 1908 car race, go NASCAR! Across the United States, Russia, and Europe, Holly jumps at the chance to get behind the wheel of a vintage car. Dixon Ansley has nothing to lose by entering the race except the rut he's been in since the death of his girlfriend years ago. But as other racers begin to drop, the producers want Dixon to join forces with Paulie on one condition: they have to pretend to be married. I don't know. Laura Griffin. When a little thing at Lakeside ends in a double homicide. Daniel Harper arrives on the scene, determined to get answers. Clues are everywhere, but nothing adds up. Danny turns into the Delphi Center crime lab for help, but soon regrets it when her secret attraction to the chief firearms examiner to distract her from the most important case of her career. As a ballistic report and former Navy SEAL, Scott Black knows firearms, and he knows he can help Danny unravel her case. Scott has managed to hide his interest in his best friend's younger sister for years, but when her investigation brings them together, he can't help himself. They gotta get between the sheets. And if they get between the sheets, maybe they get married too. We gotta do these. If you haven't watched Dog Days or Summers and Cats too, again, D. Louise book series, If Then. Sarah's friend and employee Rose is delivering a customer's purchase when the quick errand becomes a deadly escapade. Rose arrives just in time to see the customer murdered by his wife. But before she can call the police, she is knocked out cold. When she wakes up, no one believes her, especially after the woman claims her husband is very much alive and has left her for someone else, and a text message and empty bank account to prove it. I don't know. We will be getting to this series at some point. I have collected quite a few of them. London Milner, we did a couple of these though. I did do some of the newer ones for the channel a while back. I remember that because they went to the castle. And they owned the hat shop. London Milliner, Vivian Tremont, and her American cousin and partner Scarlett Parker tipped their caps to their beloved shop on Portobello Road in Notting Hill and set off for Paris, where Viv can't wait to teach a hat-making class. But another reason to travel to the City of Light to find the man she impulsively eloped with years ago and have their marriage annulled. William Graham is not only handsome and charming, but he also has a glamorous job as an insurance investigator who works with priceless pieces of art, most recently a small Renoir that has been discovered in a junk shop. But when Will and the masterpiece suddenly disappear, it's up to the ladies to find out what happened. I don't know. The Prisoner, Alex Berenson. An Islamic State prisoner in a secret Bulgarian prison has been overheard hinting that a senior CIA officer may be passing information to Islamic State. The agency's top officials and even the president say the possibility is unthinkable. But John Wells and Ellen Schaefer, his former boss at the agency, have reason to believe it. To prove their fears, Wells will have to reassume his former identity as a hardened jihad, then get captured and sent to the same prison as the source. No other American has spent as much time inside the world of Islamic terrorists as Wells. He's the only CIA operative ever to reach the top ranks of al-Jihad. Even so, he knows the man he's about to meet will test his limits. I don't know. I don't know. This is another one. I keep picking it up and thinking Jack the Ripper. I'm like, I keep doing it with this one. Keep doing it. Miss Sarah Bain, a photographer in Whitechapel, is an independent woman with dark secrets. In the privacy of a studio, she supplements her meager income by taking illicit boudoir photographers of the town's local ladies of the night. But when two of her models are found gruesomely murdered within weeks of one another, Sarah begins to suspect it's more than coincidence. Oh, I did read this. I wonder if I read it before the channel or after the channel, but I did read this. I remember reading it. I remember reading that. Kendra Elliott. I collected all these and then got sidetracked and took them off. I gotta get these back again. Kendra Elliott, FBI Special Agent Mercy Kilpatrick, has been waiting her whole life for disaster to strike. A prepper since childhood, Mercy grew up living off the land and off the grid in rural Eagles Nest, Oregon, until a shocking tragedy tore her family apart and forced her to leave home. Now, a predator known as the Caveman is targeting the survivors in her hometown, murdering them in their homes, stealing their huge numbers of weapons, and creating federal suspicion of possible domestic terrorism event. But the crime scene details are eerily similar to something that happened in her past. Leslie Gould, an Amish wedding. Rose Lamb who's always the life of the Amish young singers, is determined to marry the bishop's son Reuben until the handsome army buddy of her future brother-in-law shows up in Lancaster County. In comparison to Trevor, Reuben becomes downright boring. Trevor shares Rose's interest in fun and adventure and her easygoing disposition. When her sister Lila is injured in a devastating accident, Rose finds herself with more freedom than she's ever experienced in her life. Only Reuben seems to notice, but he never voices his concern. Part of her relishes the freedom she's found with Trevor, but the other part wishes Reuben would step up to the plate too. Crossroads of Canopy. Anma dreams of greatness, but determined but destitute, she escapes her parents' plot to sell her into slavery. Really? Now she serves in the garden of goddess Albina, ruler of growth and fertility. When Albina dies, Ono sees her opportunity for glory at the risk of descending into the unknown dangers of understory to look for a reincarnated newborn god. Its death, she discovers new forms of magic, lost family connection, and murmurs of revolution that could cost her her chance. This is how it always is. This is Claude. He's 5 years old, the youngest of five brothers, and loves peanut butter sandwiches. He also loves wearing a dress and dreams of being a princess. When he grows up, Claude says he wants to be a girl. Rose and Penn want Claude to be whoever Claude wants to be. They're just not sure they're ready to share that with the world. Soon the entire family is keeping Claude's secret until one day it explodes. Hmm. Terry Goodkind, Death's Mistress. One-time lieutenant of the evil Emperor Jagsang, known as Death Mistress and the Slave Queen. The deadly Nisi captured Richard Rowell in order to convince him that the imperial order stood for the greater good, but it was Richard who converted Nikki instead. For the years after, she served Richard and Count as one of their closest friends and one of their most lethal defenders. Now, with the reign of Richard and Can finally stabilized, Nikki has set on her own for her own adventures. One of her jobs will be to keep her traveling companion, the unholy prophet Nathan, out of trouble. But their real task will be to scout the far reaches of Richard's empire. This will take her and Nathan to visit the mysterious witch woman Reed, to tangle with the street life of the poor of Tamera, to fight lethal battles on the high sea, and ultimately to a vast magical conversation far from home. That's a lot. That's an awful lot for one book, don't you think? Uh, we know this lady well. Carrie Vaughn, Kitty and the Werewolves. Polly Newton has one single-minded dream: to be a starship pilot and travel the galaxy. Her mother, the director of the Mars colony, derails Polly's plan when she sends Polly and her genius twin brother Charles to Galileo Academy on Earth, the one planet Molly has no desire to visit ever. Homesick and cut off from her own plans for her future, Polly cannot seem to fit into the constant trays and life on Earth. Unlike Charles, who deftly maneuvers around people and sees through the behavior to their true motives. See what happens. Uh, Coffee time. Coffeehouse manager Claire Cussy sheds tears of joy when her NYPD detective boyfriend surprises her with an engagement ring, but her bridal bliss is put on hold when a chilling mystery endangers those she holds dear. First, a mysterious letter arrives bequeathing a strange hidden treasure to Claire's daughter. Next, the renowned jeweler who designed Claire's ring is found poisoned in his shop. Not good, not good, not good. Lisa Gardner, right behind you. 8 years ago, Charlemagne Nash's older brother beat their drunken father to death with a baseball bat in order to serve both of their lives. Now 13 years old, Charla has finally moved on. About to be adopted by retired FBI profiler Pierce Quincy and his partner Rainey Connor, Charla loves one thing best about her new family. They're all experts on monsters. Jill Chavez. Accidentally on purpose. Ellie Winston's priorities, friends, career, and kick-ass shoes. Then there's the muscular wall of stubbornness that security expert Archer Hunt, who comes before everything else. No point in telling Mr. Fields' free zone that, though. Ellie will just see other men until she gets over Archer, which should only take a lifetime. But he has feelings for her too, just doesn't tell her. And if you haven't done the Fae, if you haven't done If Then Fae, please check it out. We've done this series a couple of times. We've talked about it. It does really good until this. Forget what the book. This is still Mac. Okay. So this gets to a certain point, and then she switches to the other sister, and that's where she loses me. The series goes really good with Mac being your lead. She goes to Ireland to investigate her sister's death, discovers that her sister's not dead or missing or whatever. She's taken up with the Fae, she's gone to the school, and she deals with the bookshop owner, and it's a really good series until it takes a left turn. And if you haven't seen me go off bonkers 6 weeks to Sunday on the Highlander series, please go check out 8 books. I think there's 8. And the third one has the absolute 100 best ending you could ever want in a time travel book. Ever. It's 100% perfect ending. But it's beyond the Highlander's Mist, to tame a Highland warrior, the Highlander's Touch. There's book 3 that I go off on. Kiss of the Highlander, the Dark Highlander, the Immortal Highlander, and the Spell of the Highlander. Please go check out all those videos and watch me go off. I did a whole time travel thing in September of last year, and it's just awesome. I go bonkers over it. Alright, so Mac, Barons, Ryden, and Jada struggle to restore control. Enemies become allies. Right and wrong ease to exist. And the lines between life and death, lust and love disappear completely. Black holes loom menacingly over Dublin, threatening to destroy the earth. Yet the greatest danger is the one Michaela Lane has unleashed from within. The Cinsa Duba, a sentient book of unthinkable evil, has possessed her body and will stop at nothing in its insatiable quest for power. The fate of man and fae rests on destroying the book and recovering the long-shot song of making, the sole magic that can repair the fragile fabric of the earth. But to achieve these aims, its seers, the 9 silly and the unsilly, must form an alliances and make heart-wrenching choices. For Barons and Jada, this means finding the Steely Queen, who alone can unwield the mysterious song, negotiating with a lethal unsteely prince, hell-bent on ruling the Fae courts and figuring out how to destroy the Sin Stuba while keeping Mac alive. Until it turns to her sister. And the series gets a little wobbly. But that is it for Flashback Monday. And I hope you hit the like and subscribe. And I hope you will check out the D. Louise book series, If Then. and the unboxing every Sunday. There's over probably 60 or 70 episodes of those. I get a delivery every week. I do not ask for these books. I do not know what's in these boxes. I do not know. If you watch a video of anybody else unboxing on YouTube, they know what's in the box, or they suspect they know what's in the box, because either they ordered it themselves or somebody ordered it off their wish list. I do not know what is in these boxes when they arrive. Zero knowledge. Zero. So, please go check out those unboxings every Sunday. And if you didn't notice, J.D. Robb Eve Dallas Lieutenant in New York City Police Department is my favorite series in the entire world. And in 2023, I read the entire series when no one was watching my channel. And I need my comfort series. So I didn't read it last year because I read it the year before. And I did her and Janet together. I did J.D. Robb, Janet, J.D. Robb, Stephanie Plum, J.D. Eve Dallas, Stephanie Plum. And so this year, I need my comfort series. So we're spoiled every single Saturday for the entire year. We're gonna talk characters. We're gonna read the quotes. We're gonna discuss my love for no plot. You want plot? Go back to the book review, the ones I did previously. But this is all 100% character spoils. 100% character spoils. I love my Eve Dallas. She's a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. Rourke is her husband. Somerset is the major domo. Peabody is her partner. McNabb is Peabody's life partner, but he's also a detective in EDD. He works for Feeney, the captain of EDD, who was Eve's former mentor. And we have Nadine, the reporter, the Oscar winner, the book writer. With Mavis, our superstar, rock star, Leonardo, the fashion designer. Whitney, Mira, the department shrink, Baxter, Trueheart, Reinecke, the Taz. And the Candy Thief. Now, my personal opinion, although Nora says she will never, ever, ever tell, but my personal opinion is the Candy Thief is Nora. She's written herself into the book. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. But everybody has their own opinions. But Nora has said she will never tell. So, and Trina. I forgot about Trina. You know, Eve just is not good in social situations, although she is getting better. After 60-something books, she is getting better. But Trina wants to put stuff on her face and make it healthier and cut her hair and make it all look good. And Eve was like, nah. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. So, hey, hit the old thumbs up. Could you do? Hey, and there's 2,000 other videos. Go watch those. Go watch when I was in the kitchen doing horribly. Go watch when I was in the corner doing horribly. Go watch all the Star Trek Next Generation videos where the sound goes. Have a good one.